Hello. Are you able to do it? And even if you don't see me, I thought I had it on. Hello, family. Can you see it on your page?
Uh, hold on. I'm not on. I'm on. Hold on one second. I should have tried to put my iPad up. Hold on one
Yeah,
second. But
that's what I was doing too. And it's
it's not. I didn't even charge it.
that's okay.
I didn't even charge it.
Hello, family. This is your girl Mia with Missing in Action Grief Support. We have a phenomenal guest, Miss Rachelle Huff with Huff Legacy Group. She's here to give us an encouraging word and tell us all how we are to maybe navigate through the grief process. Listen, we're going to listen to this song. um, Lord, we need you right now. Even if it's not in grief, whatever it is that you're needing us, we're needing you, dear Lord, no matter what that looks like. So we're going to listen to this song and then we're going to get right to Miss Rachelle or Rachel Huff.
Rochelle. It's Rochelle.
Rachelle.
Yes.
Hello, family. Thank you all for tuning in with us, okay? This is a song Miss Rachelle wanted us to play as we entered the room. And guess what? It couldn't be more fitting because for sure we're needing him in today's society with all the things that are going on in the world today. We are definitely needing him like right away, right?
Yes.
Again, for those who are just coming in, it's customary that you like, share, and tag this platform. Me is Missing in Action Grief Support, so your friends and family could know that we're on, and not only that, to see our guests as being supported by her friends and loved ones. We want this segment to reach the masses because for sure grief is something that needs to be talked about all the time. We kind of shy away from it because we feel that's getting in people business. We're getting it in people business, but because the way this world is set up, it just takes a little split second for someone to kind of go over edge, and we're wanting to be a support system to help those who can navigate and help navigate through the process. We're listening to Smokey Norfield saying, Lord, I need your help right now. I need you now. We thanking everybody who are new to the segment. We're thanking everyone who uh supporting Miss Rachelle. Listen, it's always good to have family and friends to be supportive of you, no matter how long the situation has been for us, right? Because after the covers has been pulled over our head and after the cake and pound cake has been served at the reception or at the ending of the services, oftentimes we get caught up in our own worlds where we forget about the loved ones. So when you still have ones that can navigate and be in your presence, give you a tap on the back, say, hey, baby, I'm just calling because I think of you. Consider that as a blessing to continuously have, even after all the things have happened, right? Would you say that, Rochelle?
I definitely would. People tend to forget about you once the funeral is over.
Once it's all over,
Yeah.
I tell you, you become like, what happened?
Yeah.
They said this, they said that. Oh, Lord. That was Smoke in Northfield. Listen, it was saying, we need you right away, dear Lord. We need you right away.
Mhm.
Again, no matter what that looks like for you guys. It doesn't even have to be death. It could be changes monetarily, financially,
Mhm.
finding your way back to Jesus, whatever that looks like. We need you right away. So, you guys, this is Mia with Missing in Action Grief Support. And some of you may not know my history, but I too suffer with grief, anxiety, and depression. Back in 2000, when I lost my dad, 2002, lost my mom, and my husband was killed in a car accident, Thanksgiving 2004. For 4 years, I was mad at God. And I said so in my book, I was mad as hell at you. And I said that knowing I could have been struck down at any time, but that's the way I felt. And many of us, we kind of shy away of expressing how we feel, because it is that we can be mad at God. We can question him,
Mhm.
and we can ask him about all the promises that he had given and promised to us in scripture. And we could, like, where are you now? So
Mhm.
I guess you would have to have that intimate relationship with God, so you can feel comfortable to even question, because some of us want to feel that we are not to question God. No, we can ask God the
Mhm.
questions and it'll be quite okay. So Rachelle is here to tell us her story. We're going to introduce to you her. And Rachelle, without going in too much, give us a slight brief of who you are, because we're gonna peel the onion, so to speak. And before I go to Rachelle, I do have disclaimers I would like to do. A lot of times I try to bypass it, but because of who I am and whose I am, I want to work in decent and in order. And in decent and in order for me is to give you um, my disclaimer. My first disclaimer would be that this is a informational platform, so to say, as you will. We're not here to heal or treat, but to direct you in the path that you're needing to get better with grieving, anxiety, and depression. This is a platform that we can all come together, knowing what grief, anxiety, depression is. As you know, we can meet talking to each other and laughing with each other at the same time. In the same spit of an eye, we can drop a tear. We want to be around people that knows what that is and won't deem us crazy. So this platform is an informational segment to help us navigate through our grief, depression, anxieties, whatever that is. And quarterly, we meet up different places where we can tangibly hug someone, love on someone, and be in the rooms and not feel that your feelings would be criticized or judged and not your business under the 59 bridge. Secondly, I want to tell you every day we wake up on this side of the bed, no, we will not be on the same page. We will not be our old lucky ghost self, but on any of my platforms, we will not um, bully anyone. We will not be mean to anyone. Just because you ride, we have sisters and brothers that have not. And we're going to accept them accordingly on this platform and help them navigate to be them better selves, to show them a different way and possibly add to their greatness. All right. Third, this is a Christian based platform. I'm telling you that it is. It is a Christian based platform. But from time to time, it may get a little ratchet in here. And the reason why I say get a little ratchet, because our stories are different. Our stories may come from prostitution, drug addicts, whatever that look like. So it is not going to be always your thee, thou, thus type of situation. It may be where you have to get street and gutter with someone initially to be on their levels to help them bring them out of their darkness and what has kept them bound for so many years of however long it has been for them. So those are my disclaimers. And now that we have that, we're going to introduce you, Miss Rachelle Huff. Go ahead, Rachelle.
I am a wife, mother of five. I'm a nana, a nurse. I've been a nurse for 20 years. 15 of them I was in hospice. Caregiver, author, friend, daughter, um, business owner. I also do life insurance, final wishes planning, all of those things, things to help to make people better. So that's just a little bit about me right now. Ready to be able to help people walk through the grief space that I'm currently navigating through.
Mhm.
So
That is really wonderful. We say all the time on Missing in Action Grief Support that it's mighty. Right now we could see the glory of it all, but back then when we were going through it, we didn't know this was the setup of our fallenness, our weaknesses, our things that we had gone through. We couldn't see outside of that realm because we were in it. We didn't know God was setting us up for greatness to now tell our stories for others, to be able to give them an encouraging word, to let them know, hey, although I've been through that, although that this hit me like a rock, guess what? If I can make it through, you can too. I never would have thought in all of my people that I've interviewed how God took them out of a thing and now there's something phenomenal. Would you have thought of that, Rachelle?
definitely not. If you would have told me that, number one, I never even envisioned losing my dad, even though I had navigated through it with multiple families. I never even imagined that. And if you would have told me that I would even be able at a place where I'm able to function, I would
Mm-hmm.
have told you it's no way. But God is so strategic in how He does things that even in the midst of the pain and the grief, He still will use you to help other people.
That is so true. That is so true. For those who are just coming on, we're gonna introduce again Miss Rachelle Huff. She's with Huff Legacy Group, and she's here to tell her story about going through the grief process. And now that she's gone through the grief process, how she's allowed her pain to turn things into gain. Um, the topic today, we always present a topic on missing in action grief support, right? And the topic I thought was fitting for her because it just lines up with the book that she's written, right? Or the journal and that she's written. The topic is a daddy's girl. Because of his love, it allowed you to do these things. The topic today, a daddy's girl, because of his love. I also went and researched some scriptures that pertains to a dad and a daughter. And at your convenience, I'll give you the scripture, but you go back and you kind of navigate through that and read for yourself if you consider yourself a dad's girl like I was as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Luke 11 through 13 talks about a father as a protector. I know you probably say my dad was all that and a bag of chips, baby. He
yes,
protected
yes.
me. A father as a role model, Proverbs 23 and 24. Go and check that
Mm,
out. And that as well, I'm sure your daddy was the role model for not only you, but like the family, the whole entire family, right?
yeah,
A
yeah,
father as a leader and a guide. You can find that as in Proverbs 22 and 6. I dropped all those nuggets because I knew we weren't going to be individually being able to go all through them. But for sure, I wanted to give you subject matters that are headliners that being what being a dad's girl really is and how we are to take the readings from the Bible and implement that in the life in our life. We can read each scripture and say, you know what, my dad was that, and this is how I feel. He was my first love. All of those
all
things.
of
He
that.
taught us as he made it. Listen, I'm gonna buy you this bracelet because I don't want the first little boy that come around that give you $5 or a bracelet. You think he all that, and that was my dad. Listen, he gonna put it out on the line already. So if you do meet somebody, he better come on with it,
He
right?
better come on with
He better
it.
come on with it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Rachel, go ahead and tell us. We have the question all the time because this is Mill Missing in Action. When did you go missing in action?
Oh man. Uh I would say March the 10th, 2024 is the day that I went missing in action. That's the day that my dad transitioned, and I checked out. I had to. He got a brief little synopsis. He got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic and liver cancer February 16th. March 10th, he was gone. Him and I share a birthday month. My birthday is March 8th. His is March 22nd. And as I was watching that horrible disease, this really shake him. I knew that based off of the relationship that him and I had, if I would have showed any emotion, he would have fought to hold on.
Mm.
And he was in such pain. And I was like, God, it was so bad that I started asking God, like, take him. I was telling Daddy, it's okay. You can let go on my birthday. I'm gonna be okay. Because the reality for me was it didn't matter if he passed March 8th, 9th, 10th. The month of March was gonna be messed up for me anyway going forward. I so for me, March 10th was the day that he closed his eyes. That's the day that I checked out. And I really had to regroup. I didn't even realize I had checked out. All I knew was I was just operating and not realizing that nothing else was in my view. I couldn't focus on anything else. I didn't know I was walking it. I was depressed. I didn't know any of that. I was checked out. So I went missing in action March 10th, 24.
Wow. Tell me about your support group. Did you have a support group at that time? And if not, tell us why you think it's important to have. But if you had one, I want you to give them a shout out because people are not, we get busy with our own lives, right? And sometimes we get put on the back burner. Not saying all our focus on other people should, all the people should be focused on us always, but it's just good to be remembered. Did you have a support group?
So yes and no. I mean, I did. I had my traditional support group, but people that I had showed up for. Let me say this: it's a two part. I did have my regular group that's gonna support me in everything that I do. They were there, but then it's another group that I was really kind of heartbroken because they didn't show up, not in the same method that the way that I always show up. I'm a person, if you say, hey Rachelle, I need you to take care of my mom, I need you to help me with this, I need you to, I'm gonna be present. And so the same people that I have always been there for, I noticed in that time it wasn't the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
However, God did send me a support tribe. And so in saying that, the people are not always going to look like who you think they should look like, and you really can't waste time on who didn't show up. You just have to appreciate the ones that God sends you. And so I'm very thankful for the people that he sent in my pathway. I'm thankful for the ones, my friends that I've been friends with for years, that stepped up. My aunt, my mom, I mean my brother, so my husband, my kids, he sent people, and he sent some of my close friends, but people, like I said, that I was expecting to be there wasn't. So but I'm okay now. But I wasn't at the time, but I'm okay. But you have to get to a place that you learn to embrace what God has given you and not focus on who didn't and why they didn't.
Absolutely. I think for the longest of time, for me myself, I had to get to a point and understand that other people had their own lives, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And deep in your heart, you would know that they would be there for you if life wasn't life and for them, right?
mhm. Yeah.
But it was the selfish part of me because I was in my woe is me.
Mhm.
And being in my woe is me, I didn't care about what you had going on. I needed you there for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But as you learn, as you get the help laying on somebody's couch, as you apply the resources by laying on the couch, coming out that space with a therapist, coming into the free world, now activating what you was taught. I finally realized if the person that you thought should have been there at that time, but you know deep in your heart that they had their own issues going on, we can't dwell
Yeah.
in that. We shouldn't dwell in that because in some instance, when you put on your take off your superwoman cape,
Mhm.
your superman cape, you may be needed just a phone call to give them.
Yeah.
So in the time that you're not down in despair, crying and rolling all over the floor and thinking your life matters only, you should be calling that person saying, hey, I know we haven't talked, but I'm here and we can do this thing together. It may not be the same thing, but we
Yeah.
can bounce off each other, get some,
Yeah.
energy, positive energy. What would you say? Because you mentioned that you had some back to back things. As
Yeah.
not only your dad, but your father in law as
Yeah.
well. Tell me about that.
Well, my father-in-law, he had lived with us, and we were taking care of him. He got sick. He got diagnosed in 2017 though, and he had prostate cancer. He went in remission and it came back, and 2023 it kind of really hit like a vengeance, and so November of um 23 he passed away. And so at that time, my dad actually came here to Houston so he could go and be a part of my father-in-law's funeral. He actually was said one of the prayers at the funeral. So um thinking of how they transitioned 4 months apart is just it really just is crazy. But
Yeah.
in the same time, God is still God. Let me say that
All
God
by
is still
itself.
God. But
Mhm.
and he continues to allow us to navigate in the space knowing that they not suffering, neither one of them are suffering, and they both are suffering in the end. So um I'm just thankful that I had the opportunity to be able to take care of both of them in their last moment. So
Absolutely, absolutely. For those of you who are just coming on to Me is Missing in Action Grief Support, we thank you for being on. We would like to have you to like and share this because we want this message of Rachelle to go over the ways. We want it to be able to help somebody, not just in our little box like we're so accustomed. We just with our little friends, this is all we know. I don't want nothing else. We not doing that. We want to help everyone. So
mhm,
whether that's reaching out to me, going in Rachelle's inbox, telling her how her story has allowed you all to, look at things different, whatever that is, we want all people to be able to look at this segment and look at the greatness of even while being in grief, during grief, God gave the aha. Now take this grief. Now what? Now what you gonna do? Now
mhm.
that you've gone through this situation, now what? Kind of give us, Rachelle, like a little background of how you came up and how your daddy became all the things to you. Tell us about that.
Um, I'm a daddy's girl. I've always been a daddy's girl. Um, my dad has always been that person, like we can talk about everything, and we used to talk about everything, but it's just the fact that he's always been that source of strength for me when I'm having those moments that I feel like I really don't know what to do, or it's hard for me to keep pressing. He's always in my ear saying, "Baby, you got this. You can do it." He's always that cheerleader for me, telling me that no matter what it looks like, it's going to be okay. And even up until, the cheerleading, he's always been supportive of my kids. Like every one of the things that before he passed away, he wanted to go see my son's school, and he rode all the way to Abilene in the car with my brother. My brother made it possible for my dad to go, and he went to visit the college so he could see it. And he was like, "I have a piece about this school." He said, Everything is gonna be okay." So he supported my husband, he supported me, he supported the kids. I mean, he just was everything, my protector, my best friend. And so it everything that you said with the scriptures, that was him. He was my confidant. He's going to give me a word. And even up until his last moments, when the doctor first came in and gave him the terminal diagnosis, dad's faith has been always been something that I admired, and always pray that my faith will be on that kind of a level. Because even up
Mhm.
until when the doctor came in and gave him that diagnosis and told him, there's nothing else we can do, and I'm like, "Daddy, what do you think?" And he's like, "I trust God no matter what." And I'm like, "No, Daddy, but for real, what do you think?" And he
Mhm.
was like, "No matter what it looks like, I'm okay. I trust God. God is going to take care of me. I'm going to be okay." And I'm listening to him, and I'm sitting there saying like, "Okay, but for real." So because I just knew it had to be some more. But that
Right.
same faith, honestly, that he's shown me since the time I was a little girl, um is the same faith he left with. So
Mhm.
he never wavered in his faith, not one bit, even when the doctor said it was terminal. He said, "I trust God no matter what that looks like. You don't get to pick and choose, Rachelle." And I'm like, "Okay, I understand that." And I understand that. I truly do. You can't pick and choose
Right.
how and what you're going to deal with in your life, but to see him even up until the end have that faith that you can only dream of. And
Mhm.
so even checking out on me, that gave me that hope to say, "You know what, no matter what you face, even though I can't physically hear him, what he left me with when he transitioned was enough to keep me going every day."
Listen, so some of you may say, well, why is she going back to that? It's for a reason, because we talked about the grief part of it, the missing in action part of it. But I want you all to hear the greatness and the compassion dad had, the closeness that they had, the relationship, the pieces of encouragement that he gave Rachelle in order to now be able to do something after he's gone. Hearing that voice and say, I hear you being sad that I'm gone, but I want you to use that same energy
Mhm.
and help somebody navigate through it. And that's when your journal came. When did you say, now, okay, let me stop woeing in me. Let me use my pain for gain. I want to help somebody else. When did that process begin, and why did you feel it had to be in writing form?
I would say it began actually as he was transitioning. Um, the weight of the pain was so extreme, and I'm like, "God, if I have to do this, if this is really what I have to do, then please allow me to use what I have to help other daughters walking through the process." And a lot of times my husband will correct me, and he'll say, "Well, anybody can use a journal." Yes, they can, because a lot of the information that's in there is applicable to anybody that's grieving. But God gave me the blueprint for daughters that are navigating through that pain, because if you are a daddy's girl, then you know that there is nothing in this world that you can even put words to explain. And so the whole process, I was like, "God, I need a blueprint. I need to be able to help the daughters that are navigating this role, saying I can't make it." Because I was that daughter that said, I can't make it. I don't know how I'm supposed to keep going. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. How am I gonna do this, Lord? Like, this is too much. The weight of this is too much for me to carry, and I know that I can't do it on my own. And I had to have him to give me, and he gave me a full blueprint from start to finish on how I can help, even as much as the etiquette, because that was one of the things that really triggered me a whole lot in the process, because people say stuff and I'm saying, oh man, you finna make me go over the table. And understanding that I really had to get an understanding. I said, Lord, let me help them out with some verbiage, things that they need to know that they
Grief
don't need to say,
etiquette. Grief
you know.
etiquette.
And so he even gave me that to put in the book to be able to help, because even though, and one of my biggest things is I'm a Christian, I love the Lord, but I don't need you to tell me that God knows best. I don't need you to tell me that God only takes his best and, his strong. Don't tell me that, because I know what the word says. But in that moment, when you're navigating that pain, you don't want nobody to tell you that. I don't need you to give me something you done heard somebody else say. I don't need you to tell me no scripture. I know it. I just need you to give me my space, allow me to grieve how I need to grieve, because that's where people mess up, because they want to rush it. They want to try to tell you what you're supposed to feel. They want to tell you how you should feel, that they know how you should feel, and they want to bombard you with scripture. I don't need any of that. My parents taught me the word. My aunt taught me the word. My spiritual fathers that I've had in my life have taught me the word. I don't need that. I understand what the Bible says, but I don't want you to tell me that when I'm navigating the loss of my father. I want to be able to feel what I want to feel and not have to hear you yapping in my ear telling me something that I'm not interested in hearing. And so I think that helping people to understand things to say, how to handle people in their grief, but also what to do with the grief that you're feeling so that it doesn't make you check out. Because being a nurse, I understand, even outside of the caregiver space, if
Mm-hmm.
most of these caregivers die before the patients a lot of times, and the people,
Wow.
and grief will take you out if you're not careful. So you have to really understand those things about grief.
Absolutely. Rachel, how important is it for, I know this was important to me, and I tell people on my platform this, like you said, there is a grief etiquette,
Mhm.
right? But also, it's very important because when the person is going through, like you say, you don't want to hear all the things. And we know people are sometimes coming from a good place and they so quick to say, yeah, just call me. I'll be there for you. Knowing when life happens and it's already us taking all that it takes to even call somebody to
Yeah.
ask them or to won't even want them to even give us a listening ear. I always tell people, be precise when you're saying, call me. I'll be there for you. If you know I hadn't had a date night and you can keep the kids for me, say I can do that thing.
Yeah.
If you say I can give you some groceries or your car not working, I can take you to the store, say that thing. If you say, listen, I don't have a lot of money, but I got a little something I can give you if you should ever be in doubt, say that. What I'm saying about that, it already takes us
Mhm.
to bring down our guards, to put away our egos, to remember those words you said, if you should ever need me, call me. Be specific on what you can do. And even at that time that we call and say, girl, I know you said you could take me to the store. We know life is life, but we will be more content of if you say, girl, my car just went out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Be
Mhm.
specific of the things that you say that you can do. So when we do call, it will not be another letdown for us. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? What you say
Yeah.
about that, Rochelle?
I definitely say so. But also, what I learned, Dr. Mia, was that, um, sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone and say, hey, this is what I need from you. Because I've had too many people tell me, like you said, oh, I'll be here, you just call me. Well, when first of all, I don't even know what I need from
Eh,
moment to moment to
yeah.
even ask you for what I need. So don't put me in a position where I have to ask you for something. So I've kind of learned that if I need somebody to do something, I kind of just put in the ball in their court. Hey, I need you to be available for this, or I need you to be available for that, because I don't want to call you. You tell me to call you, and then I call you, and then you got an excuse, because what that's gonna do is make me say, you know what, that's the reason why I don't depend on people anyway, and so I don't even want to. I don't want to even deal with that. And I don't know about you, but I noticed since my father has passed away, it's hard. It takes all my energy to deal with people. Period. I mean,
Zero tolerance.
I literally have zero, like you say, zero tolerance for people. And it's not that I don't love them. It's not that I don't want to, but I'm perfectly content being in my house and not being bothered, because I just it just seems like it just takes a lot for me to function in this new normal.
Yeah, yeah. In your journal, tell us, give us a little inserts what we can expect to get when we purchase it, and also you'll be able to give those dime nuggets or the link in the messages below as we get off. How we can purchase it, but give us a little insight as to what the journal kind of does. It give you a question and answer? Does it give you a way of elaborating on that particular subject matter? Tell us about it.
It's very interactive. It's 290 pages in it. And so as I was navigating through it, I kept saying, okay, God, this is a whole lot of something in this book at one time, because I know you, since you said you've done a book, the more pages, the more detail, the more money it costs to even make the book. And I
Yeah.
kept saying, okay, God, ooh, it's a whole lot going on. But he didn't tell me to break it down. He told me to give it all to them at one time. And
Wow.
so inside of the book, it has a space with the etiquette in it. It has like daily reflections in it. It has like love letters in it. I mean, and so like maybe one of the things in there, it says it has, if you have any unforgiveness that you needed to walk through. It goes over
Mhm.
forgiveness. It goes over your daily moves. It goes over pages where you can actually, how you can use your grief in a positive way. And it has like letters in it from like your daddy was writing, like one letter would be like, my precious girl, don't let grief dim your light. I'm watching over you with pride and love. Continue to live your life fully and bravely. You are my shining star, and I believe in you. It has daily reflections about faith, healing. I mean, it goes over everything. It even talks about navigating through grief when your dad gets a terminal illness. It has a space in there for them to deal with their final wishes when they're, and because that's one thing with us that we're kind of bad about. We don't
Mhm.
want to talk about those things. Well, this eliminates some of that, because you can do the whole planning of what your dad needs, or whoever needs. So that way, from the funeral planning to everything, you got all that in here. It's a milestone timeline, mapping your grief journey, preparing you for the holidays, memory boxes. I mean, it has something for you. It's so interactive. Everybody that I have that have actually used it said, "Man, you got to be really ready to work through your grief, because it really brings up a lot of emotions
Right.
inside of it."
Wow. We just had Mother's Day, and I want to shout out to all the mothers. And if you're not a biological mothers, those who have taken under your wing as children in your space, I want to thank you for being that mom. Now that Father's Day is coming up,
Mhm.
and we have some daddy's girls out there, how would you, or what would you suggest, how to not forget about it, but kind of help with that? Because Mother's Day was a little hard for me this year. I don't know why, but it was kind of hard for me this year. And by me being a dad's girl, Father's Day is coming up. So I'm just like, you know, I've been having this superwoman's cape on for so long. And I think with all the past history of things that's been happening as far as health and all of that, thank God things worked out. But now I'm reflecting on if only my mom and dad was here to
Hmm.
have walked me through that,
Yeah.
held me, pat. You just have to remember some of the words that they would have said
Yeah.
because you had that relationship with them, and kind of implement those daily words or those encouraging words that they would tell you often in the time that you're needing now. So for Father's Day that's coming up, how would you tell a person how to help get through that special day and any holiday? Because if blink of an eye, Thanksgiving gonna be here and
Hmm.
Christmas, and it's just all the holidays. It could be one thing that triggers, it's your triggers
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
allows you to wow out or you know
Yeah.
drop a tear. Tell us how to get through that.
So, what I would say is that you have to be intentional about what you do. I make plans. I know Father's Day is coming up. I'm dreading it, but I am being intentional with what I'm doing on Father's Day. You also can use different things to honor their memory on that day. Is it going to be hard? Now, I'm going to tell you, I won't be on Facebook much. Not that I don't love that people have their dad and they'll be honoring and celebrating their dad, but it's just a little too much for me.
Mhm.
But I know that that's a trigger for me. So I'm not going to put myself in a trigger spot that I
Yeah.
can help. Now, it's some triggers you can't avoid, but
Right.
that's a trigger that I can avoid. But be intentional. Find something that you can do. If you and your dad had a favorite meal, go out to eat that. Or if you have something that you and him like to do that. Or just go get you a massage. Or you have to find something that's going to help you to be okay in that moment. But you can't wait till Father's Day creeps up on you. You need to make plans now. So when
Absolutely.
my birthday came, I knew that that was going to be a hard moment for me. So what I did was I had a book signing. My mom was like, "Well, do it on your birthday." I ended up doing my book signing on my birthday, so I didn't have to reflect on, oh, he can't tell me happy birthday. He's not going to be my first call. That wasn't going to happen. So I had to be intentional and make sure that I had plans already in place. So when that day came, I wasn't sitting there saying, oh man, Father's Day is coming up or mother, whatever, Christmas. You have to find a routine that's going to work for you, but you start planning it now. Maybe that looks like a trip for you and your family. Maybe
Mhm.
that looks like you doing something to pamper you. Or maybe, like I said, his favorite meal. You go out and have a meal, and that way you can honor him like he's still present. But
Yeah.
if you wait on those moments to creep up on you, it's going to set you up and you're going to fail. But also, I did was I participate in grief share. I'm very, very much. I took it twice, and now I'm going to actually start facilitating it because I understand now that those are the things that are going to help you when you have those weak moments, having other people around you that
Mhm.
understand what that looks like, and they can help you navigate because you helping them, so y'all helping each other. So that's really what you have to do.
That is simply amazing. And like I said, I want to commend you for taking the things that kept you bound to now help someone else to be a better self. If someone wanted to be a part of anything you had going on, Rachelle, um, let's hit on this right quick before we go. What is the Huff group? What is
The Huff
that?
Huff Legacy Group is our family. It's our family business. It's actually we're kind of revamping, if you want to say that,
Hmm.
because when we first initially started our business, it was we were doing the helping people with their business, getting their business set up, business credit, the virtual office space. We still have the virtual office where we people can get use our address as a business address. We do still have that service, but now we're kind of focusing more on the final expense space. We're focusing on the life insurance space. We also teach CPR training. We're the support group. My nonprofit, the Huff Legacy Caregiver Support Network, caregivers that are navigating through the space of being a caregiver. Most of the time caregivers get forgotten. They're the ones people just dump on because that's what they do. So we're really trying to focus on more of the total healing, mind, body, soul, versus more on the business side of it, per se, making sure that you have your affairs in order, making sure we can help you to navigate through some of those difficult spaces that you come across in your life and not have to be in a state of shock. Because one thing that my dad did, he prepared us, because he had his stuff in writing, he had insurance. So having being grieving and have to figure out financial pieces and what your wishes are, that's not it. And so that's why we kind of like, let's regroup. Let's figure out how we can take what we have and really be able to help people in the veteran space, the grief space, the caregiver space, and really be able to help them so they're prepared, so that we're not always on having to do GoFundMe's, fish fries, and things like that.
Right. That is awesome. That is a wonderful resource to have for others. If you needed to be contacted on social medias or different platforms, how can one get in contact with you?
Right now, because we're in the process of changing everything over, the best way to reach out is on my Rachelle Huff website. On my Rachelle Huff Facebook page. I do have an Instagram, From the Eyes of a Daddy's Girl, but I really haven't done anything with that one yet.
Okay.
And then my caregiver support, my Huff Legacy caregiver support has a social media page, but I really haven't been dealing with that. That when you navigating and that grief hits you back to back, it's just, so now I'm at a space now where I'm able to function through the things that I need to do for my business and for people, but I've really been in a space of just trying to help others that are navigating, because I've had quite a few people that have lost family members, whether it be their husbands, their dads. I,
Mhm.
I think I have about 6 friends that lost their dads right after I did. So God had, I didn't have a chance. When I say I didn't even have a chance to grieve, He was like, "Nope, I need you to help them." No. And I'm sitting there saying, like, okay, God, I need to deal with me. But in
Yeah.
that process, He still helped me. So helping them. So if they need to reach me, tell them the best way to reach me right now is on my Rachelle Huff
For
social
sure.
media.
In the comments below, Rochelle will enter what is the best way, which platform, and which way is the best way to contact her. We want to thank you for coming on, and for those of you who may have joined late and didn't get on at the beginning, please go back and do so. That's so wonderful that we have different apps and things that we can use to go back and catch the replay. And I encourage you to do so. A lot of times we don't want to talk about grief, anxieties, or depressions or mental health things. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And guess what? We give different things for different months, but this is all the time.
Mhm.
This should be at all ways. Mental health conversations. We get to talk about it and embrace it in areas that we are able to embrace. Become familiar with our triggers and all of that. So it is oftentimes that just because it's given a month, if you see your brothers and sisters struggling in an area and you know that's what they not accustomed to doing, go tap on your brother and sister. Say, hey, babe, how can I help you through the process? I see you moving and shaking a little different. Can you talk to me about that? What's causing this? You know, go and be supportive of that person and try to get to know the person to see where all of this lashing out perhaps may even stem from. Rachelle, what do you have coming up?
I'm working on something probably in the next couple of months. I want to do some kind of thing for people that are navigating through the grief space, especially the daughters. But I'll have to put that out there once we kind of get everything
Right.
set up.
All right. So, you guys, I thank you so much for being such a support to Rachelle Huff. I thank you for tuning in with Ms. Missing in Action Grief Support Group. This has been a phenomenal segment. As all my guests, they bring little nuggets to our show where I listen and really dissect what a person is saying because maybe I'm cheating. I want to bring in that nugget and get an aha as well. I didn't think about something like that. Or like Rachel, because we are dad's girls. Uh, my dad did the same thing. I felt the same way. So I'm listening as she talking. I'm remembering all the things as well, and that's what it is. In hopes that you find when you're tuning in, me is missing in action grief support. That something that one of our guests may said, it doesn't have to be the same scenario, but it can be something that could be applied in your life that give you your aha moments. Before I let you go, we always lead by saying, let's heal together. Let's turn our pain into gain. Don't go missing. Stay found. Until next Monday, you guys, with our next guest, we'll see you back here at 7 with Ms. Missing in Action Grief Support. Please befriend Rachelle Huff if you're wanting to know more about her services and getting to know how you can purchase her journal. And for sure, we'll see you next Monday, same station on the same platform. Rachelle, it was good interviewing you, getting to
Thank
know you, my
you.
love, and keep going.
Thank
Keep
you.
being phenomenal. Keep lifting your head up and know that you matter.
Thank you.
All right. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.